In this video I'm going to tell you 5 good things and 5 bad things about our cruise with Virgin Voyages, so let's go! Ahoy there, I'm Captain Chris. I'm not a real captain, but in this video I'm going to tell you 5 good things and 5 bad things about our cruise on this ship, Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady, so that you'll know what to expect if you're planning on taking a cruise on the Resilient Lady anytime soon. And this information should mostly be relevant for Virgin's other lady ships, that is the ones with Lady in the name, but it's Resilient Lady I'm talking about specifically. And stay tuned until the end for a bonus tip about the drinks on board that kind of falls into both the good and bad categories, but it's well worth knowing, so you won't want to miss it. So we'll start with the good stuff, and undoubtedly one of the best things about a Virgin voyage is the food. Unlike most of the cruise lines, all of the restaurants on Virgin are included in your fare. So if you want to try different restaurants every night, you can, and it won't cost you a penny extra. There are some really good restaurants too. There's Pink Agave, which serves food with a Mexican influence, where I had a really good steak, and my wife had their famous chocolate tacos, which she recommends very highly. The Wake serves steak and seafood, which was all fantastic and is also a great choice for breakfast. Don't think that you have to go up to the galley for a self-serve breakfast every day. You'll be missing out if you do. Extra Virgin is the Italian restaurant, which we loved, and we went here more than once, and their New York strip and chili butter was my favourite meal of the week, but we loved everything in here. In the Fillmore restaurants you can book a table before you leave home, book once you're on board, and some of the tables are held back for walk-ins, although you may have to queue at busy times. Razzle Dazzle is another super restaurant that caters for all tastes. There are plenty of vegetarian options here, although it's not exclusively vegetarian, and it's another great place for breakfast. My wife enjoyed the rainbow churros here, although she started to feel a bit of a sugar high halfway through, but Razzle Dazzle is one of our favourite restaurants on board. You can get a table to yourselves in all of these restaurants, but if you like to share a table with strangers and see it as a way to meet new people, the Gun Bay is a Korean barbecue place with lots of places to share a table with others, and at the test kitchen you all sit in long rows. The test kitchen is amazing though, and it serves a multi-course tasting menu which definitely has an experimental style to it. Apart from these formal restaurants with waiter service, there are loads of other less formal places to eat, like the pizza place, a sushi place, and others serving tacos, toasties, noodles, ice cream, cakes and loads more, over 20 in all, and remember you don't pay a penny extra for any of them. Number 2 on my list is the cabin, which had good space and plenty of storage. There's a hammock on the balconies and you're allowed to take a bottle of wine each with you, so it was nice to keep that in the mini fridge and have a glass on the balcony each evening before we headed out. The cabins were modern and contemporary, but the coolest thing about them is the tablet that you use to control everything, from the lights and air conditioning to the curtains and the mood music. You can contact your cabin steward with it to request towels or ice, or to get your cabin made up, all sorts of things. They were absolutely brilliant. Number 3 on my list is the general vibe and atmosphere on board. Virgin Voyages are for passengers aged 18 and over, but there are plenty of people of all ages there, and they're from a very diverse cross-section of the population. I felt that we were very much treated as adults. Breakfast was available until really late in case you'd been up late the night before. They don't make announcements over the public address system every 5 minutes as many cruise lines do. They didn't keep asking you if you wanted to pose for a photo everywhere you went or try and take a picture while you were eating, and they didn't insist on any particular dress code. People dress smartly or casually to suit themselves and nobody minds. There is one night when people are encouraged to wear red, and lots of people joined in with that, some in red suits or dresses and some with a red t-shirt or scarf, but even that isn't compulsory. Virgin's attitude seems to be, you're a grown-up, you decide. Number 4 is the onboard entertainment. In the daytime, if you're not going ashore, there's plenty to do to keep you busy. There's a spa, a gym and a running track if you're feeling energetic, and the athletic club area, which has all kinds of equipment to try, and a whirlpool and sports court and even a boxing ring to let off steam. If you prefer something a bit more sedate, the social club has board games and quizzes to try, and an arcade with old school video games like Pac-Man and Space Invaders, so you can play like a 1980s teenager even if you weren't one originally. In the evenings there's the Red Room Theatre that has some great shows on, including their own comedy magician called the Mind Mangler, and on Resilient Lady their show about the Greek goddess Persephone sees all the seats removed and the audience standing belly up to the edge of the stage whilst aerialists and pole dancers perform in between the audience members and a group of demons climb the walls of hell at the back of the room. It's bonkers, but I loved it. In the Manor nightclub there's another stage for performances. Now we went on Resilient Lady's comedy cruise, so nearly all of the performances here were comedians, but normally there's more variety than that, and there are drag acts and some of the shows can get a bit fruity, but hey, it's an adult only line. And in addition to all of that and the restaurants, there are a lot of bars to visit. In fact, you can go on an organised pub crawl if you like, and that brings me on to my number 5, which is that unlike our recent cruises with P&O and MSC, we always managed to find a seat. Whether we wanted to have a drink or join in a quiz, when we watched the karaoke, when we played a board game, whatever we did, wherever we went, we always found a seat. On those other cruise lines, we could never seem to get a seat, especially after dinner, and we often headed back to our cabin for an early night, but that wasn't the case on Virgin, which was much better. Now, I haven't forgotten your bonus tip about the drinks at the end, but before we get to that and the 5 bad things about our cruise, could I just quickly ask you to hit the subscribe button and allow notifications so that you'll know when I post another video. It means a lot to me to see so many of you subscribing, so thanks if you have, and if you haven't, please hit that button. Thank you. So what are the 5 bad things about our cruise with Virgin Voyages? Well, although there were many things about our cabin that we loved, there were a couple of things that were less than perfect. First was the bathroom, which was tiny, much smaller than the ones on our recent cruises with P&O and MSC. I filmed this standing in the shower so you can see how small it is. It had everything we needed and the shower was good, but there was no spare elbow room at all. The second thing we were missing in our cabin was a kettle. There was a little drinks area and a fridge for your cold drinks and a jug of drinking water, which is a really nice touch, but no tea and coffee making facilities. Come on Virgin, we're British, we can't function without tea. The third bad thing was annoying to us, but I think it's done deliberately. A lot of the entertainment and activities are timed so that they overlap, meaning that you can't always do everything you want to. The music and shows and karaoke and competitions are all going on at the same time, which means you have a lot of choice, but you'll possibly go home feeling that you missed out on something, which will probably make you want to go on another Virgin voyage in the future, which I think is the idea. Number 4 is about the app. Virgin rely heavily on their app for a lot of the communication between them and you. Tables can be booked, itineraries can be checked, disembarkation time slots are managed, and loads of other things. The problem is that the system isn't that good. It kept disconnecting itself from the network, so messages didn't get through. It was glitchy, and we booked a table in a restaurant before we'd even left home, which completely disappeared off the records once we'd arrived. Given that you've little choice but to use the app, it could do with being a bit better. One more grumble still to come, and remember to stay tuned for my bonus tip at the end. But before that, number 5 is just to let you know that the main swimming pool really isn't that big, especially if you want to actually swim rather than just bob about. They have parties around the pool, and there's often someone who jumps in with all their clothes on. But if you want to do lengths, you're probably going to have to get there early in the morning before there's too many people there. It's definitely not the largest swimming pool at sea. Now finally, my bonus tip, which you might consider to be a good thing or a bad thing. Lots of people who go on cruise holidays like to pay for a drinks package, which usually means they can have unlimited soft drinks and usually up to 15 alcoholic drinks every day throughout their cruise. Some packages can include unlimited alcoholic drinks, but these are getting rarer to prevent people from getting ridiculously drunk and becoming a nuisance to others. But either way, these packages are popular. Virgin Voyages don't do drinks packages at all, meaning you have to pay for each drink as you have it, which is bad. However, what they do instead is allow you to prepay your bar tab, and if you do, they will top it up with a bit of extra free money. For example, if you prepay $200, Virgin will add an extra $25, or if you prepay $500, Virgin will add an extra $100. This is free money, so in some ways it's better than the drinks package idea. Obviously you'll have your own opinion on which system is best, but if you are going on a Virgin voyage, don't forget to prepay your bar tab and take advantage of the offer. But beware that the money that you prepay is non-refundable, so don't prepay more than you'll need. Check out one of my other Virgin Voyage videos next, and until next time, thanks for watching.